Hello ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else watching. My name's Eric, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the Bioshock Hub. Very quickly, if you missed yesterday's video and want to go check that out, I'll leave it down in the description below, or I'll put a card at the top right hand corner of the screen, but make sure to watch that or check it out after this video is over. Thank you. Now, it's another day and we have another article from our friends over at ScreenRant. This is by J. Scott Thurlow. If you want to go give them a kind word of encouragement, I'll leave the article down in the description as always. So, Bioshock 4 has an important choice to make with its story. As the next official entry in the series, Bioshock 4 has a meaningful decision to make regarding its story, direction, and continuity. Let's begin. Bioshock has undoubtedly earned its place in gaming's Hall of Fame, and I do agree with that. It's one of the best games of all time, the first one at least. Everybody else has their own opinions, of course, but the first one is definitely one of the best games of all time. The series' first title pushed the boundaries of interactive storytelling and advanced the medium to a more mature and respected square. To this day, Bioshock's influence can be felt and seen in numerous games. While Bioshock 2 continued on a similar, smaller scope, the third and latest release, Bioshock Infinite, introduced the multiverse theory to the equation, well before the concept became as prevalent as it currently is in the popular zeitgeist, and thus opened up a wealth of narrative possibilities. I feel that was a lot of words jumbled together there. Essentially, it introduces the multiverse theory, that way a lot of different things can go on, and you have a way to explain it. That's basically how to describe what was just said in layman's terms. Bioshock 4 has been in the works since 2019, and I'm going to disagree with that. It was in development a little bit before that, but it got scrapped multiple times, and it's been scrapped multiple times to this day. As a matter of fact, I believe it was rewritten about 3 times roughly, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember what we read back a couple of months ago. Headed by Cloud Chamber Studios, a recently formed studio under 2K's banner, and it's a brand new studio, let's keep that in mind, it has allegedly had a rocky development so far. With such a weighty legacy to live up to, it's understandable that the studio might be thinking long and hard about how to handle one of the most lauded franchises in gaming history. And you guys know my perspective on that. Take your time with it, make a great game. We'll be happy to wait, obviously. We don't want a shitty game. And perhaps the biggest challenge and most important choice Cloud Chamber faces is where it will take Bioshock's story next. Hopefully, somewhere nice and intriguing. Bioshock 4's story needs to pick a direction, obviously. But let's get into this section of the article. Bioshock Infinite linked all 3 games together via its multiple reality spanning aspects, aka the multiverse that was explained and mentioned earlier. In doing so, it retroactively tied them all in together, for better or for worse. And I know a lot of people didn't like that aspect of Infinite. I'm a huge fan of the multiverse theory, so I thought it was pretty cool. It could have been executed a little bit better, but I still thought it was a cool concept to kind of go for in the game. They didn't play it safe, which I do actually like. To what degree Bioshock 4 will connect to the previous 3 games is a huge question that will essentially inform us how the story is going to connect to those 3 games moving forward. It will be a fine balancing act for Bioshock 4, and Cloud Chamber Studios at that, to incorporate the necessary core components while not overburdening itself and us, the community or the fans, whatever you would like to consider yourself, or be too reliant on existing elements to prop up its plot, aka playing it safe and using what they already know fans enjoy and like. Similarly, Bioshock 4's choice of philosophy will naturally affect its story sensibilities. If it looks to play off the previous ideologies that were cornerstones of its narrative, then it will also need to stand out by not copying them too closely either, which is something that I just mentioned there. Conversely though, too big of a departure in this area risks making it feel disconnected, or essentially isolated, see what I did there, from the essential tone of Bioshock. It might end up seeming like a hard reboot instead of a spiritual successor, so we'll see what happens there. Bioshock 4's possible plot paths. Bullet number 1. Taking place in Antarctica during the 1960s, roughly the same time as Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2. We've heard rumors of that. Bullet point 2. Featuring either 2 cities or one large one, whose populations are separated by class status. That was yet another rumor or speculation that came out. Bullet point 3. Having isolation as a potential subtitle or title overall. Again, we saw that with the leaks, in quotes, as well as rumors and speculation. Bullet point 4, and the final one, being open world versus a linear design, which, again, we've seen job openings for things like that, as well as heard rumors and speculation on that as well. So it seems like they're taking all the speculative things that we've heard and combining them here. These make for interesting branches already, but if Bioshock 4 embraces the multiverse aspect, again, it allows for a wide range of creative freedom in picking and choosing threads to weave into its story. Hopefully it makes sense. I don't want something kind of being pulled out of their ass in terms of a character or in terms of a concept, etc. Just make it make sense. That's all I ask. The above framework could end up being something like an alternate variant of Rapture and Columbia, which I wouldn't mind, or an amalgamation of both in a single location. Perhaps events played out differently in Bioshock 4's reality versus the ones that you all know and love right now. And the tale will be about the resulting versions, familiar in many ways, yet distinct or different in its own right. Additionally, Bioshock is known for shocking twists, which puts even more pressure to deliver a coherent story that also feels that it keeps with its original spirit. And obviously, the twists are something you remember years and years after playing the game. If it aspires to be a true sequel, Bioshock 4 will need to at least attempt a reveal that impacts or changes the context of its plot, aka the would you kindly reveal. Maybe Andrew Ryan and Comstock are alive and even collaborated in its universe. Whatever the case, Bioshock 4 has a monumental task in deciding exactly how much connective tissue it will contain regarding the previous titles, or if it decides to distance itself from them in a service or in light of a new direction, but still manage to recapture its quintessential identity. So everyone, let me know what you think. What would you like to see with Bioshock 4's story? Do you want it to be set in a new location like the rumored Antarctica? Do you want it to go back to a place like Rapture in a different timeline, or Columbia in a different timeline? Any and all ideas, comments, concerns, anything, I'm really interested in hearing, so please put those down in the description below. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, as we're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and I would very much appreciate that. Also, if you want to just leave a nice comment down below or a like on the video, that would put a smile on my face, and I would very much appreciate that. If you don't want to miss a future video or a future live stream, be sure to hit the bell and turn on all post notifications, so that way, hopefully, YouTube will notify you when I go live or when I upload. If you want to stay up to date with me outside of YouTube or check out additional content, you can follow me on my social medias or subscribe to my second channel, and also be sure to follow me on my Twitch. All the links you need to know will be down in the description below. With that being said, thank you all so very much for watching today's video. Take care, stay safe, and I will talk to you all in the next one.